Okay, so in this question we have the price of softwood changes each year. The price has increased by 6% per annum for each of the last 5 years. Before this, the price had decreased by 2% per annum. 7 years ago, the price of softwood was £34 per metre cubed. Calculate the current price of the softwood. So to begin with, we have got lots of information to consider in here. We can see the price has increased by 6% here, and that has happened over 5 years. Before this, the price had decreased by 2%, and there were 7 years altogether. Okay, and we have the cost of the wood was £34 at the beginning. Now we can see that we've got increased by 6% for each of the last 5 years. So we've got a percentage increase and we're told how long it's for. Here we've got a decrease by 2%, but we're not told exactly how many years that was for. However, it goes on to say there are 7 years altogether. So if we look at this 5 years and that's 7 years, that means we have 2 years left over. So the decrease by 2% has happened over 2 years. Okay, 7 years altogether, 5 years has been used by 1, 5 plus the 2 gives us this 7. Now we start to look at the values they've given us here. Okay, so it increased by 6%. Because it's an increase, that means we've got 100%, the value we started with, and we've got an extra 6%, meaning that we've got 106% altogether. We should know that we don't like to use percentages when it comes to our calculators. We like to use the multiplier. Percent means out of 100, so essentially we are looking to divide that by 100 to give us a multiplier of 1.06. Okay? Now, along with the work that you would have done previously, we need to consider how long that has happened for. Now, the length of time it's happened for is 5 years, so that means we need a power of 5 to go with that bit there. So we're going to leave that there for now, okay? I'm going to decode this part of the question until it looks something like that. So this decreased by 2%. That means we started off with 100%, we decreased, so we took away 2%, which gave us a percentage of 98%. Remember, we don't like a percentage, it's a decimal, so we would divide that by 100, which would give us a multiplier of 0.98. This happened over 2 years, which means we have a power of 2 that belongs to there. Double check. 5 plus 2 gives us the 7 years we had altogether. Now, in previous questions, you would have taken your amount, which was the 34. Okay. And multiplied it by just one of the compound percentages. So, for example, 1.06 to the power of 5. Because there is more than one change during this 7-year period, we can include the next change on the one line. This can be typed into your calculator in one go, okay? And that gives us a value of £43.70. Okay, so steps you need to take. Decode the question, change the increased by 6% first to the percentage, then to the multiplier, and then take into account how long the duration is. So in this case, the percentage was 106, the multiplier was 1.06, the power was the 5 years. The next one, decreased by 2%, the percentage is 98%, the multiplier is 0.98, and that happened over the 2 years, as there was 5 years here and 7 years altogether. That then is written in one line for all your 3 marks to give you the £43.70. Press pause while you try this example. Okay, so let's decode the question. We have the price of softwood changes each year. The price has decreased by 3% per year for each of the last 8 years. Before this, the price had decreased by 10%. 10 years ago, the price of softwood was £45 per metre cubed. Calculate the current price of the softwood. So, key information. We have decreased by 3%. That happened over 8 years. Decreased by 10% this time. Okay, so we have got 2 decreases this time. We do not know how many years there are altogether. However, we are told there are 10 years in total, which will enable us to work out how many years there is for this section here. Because there are 10 years altogether and 8 years are there, that means we have 2 years left over for this one there. And we've been told the price of the softwood is £45. Okay, so starting off here, decreased by 3%. That means we had 100%, we decreased, so we took away 3%, which left us with 97%. We wanted to change this to a multiplier by dividing it by 100, which gives us 0.97 as our multiplier. We need to include how many years this happens for as a power, which gives us 8 as a power there. We're going to use that later. Before this, the price had decreased by 10%. So again, we have 100% at the start of anything, decreased by 10%, gives us a percentage of 90%. We want to change that to a multiplier by dividing by 100. That gives us 0.9 or 0.90 as our multiplier. That happened over 2 years, so we need to introduce a power of 2. We now want to use this along with our £45. So 45 multiplied by our first multiplier up here of 0.97 to the power of 8, multiplied by the next change of 0.9 to the power of 2. Type it in your calculator all in one go, and it gives us a total of £28.57 for the new cost of the wood after the 10 years.